Here's a list of 5 things I did to help myself secure a role at Morgan Stanley. Number 1, persistent networking. When most people think networking, they think, oh, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, I'm going to send a message, maybe I'll even attach my resume. No. Persistent networking is when you network with one person, and then that person introduces you to someone else, who then introduces you to someone else, who then introduces you to someone else. And if you think this is crazy, just know that the person who made the introduction to the managing director at Morgan Stanley that eventually hired me was a 5-way network. So I networked, first with my dad, who introduced me an old friend from the 80s that he knew, who introduced me to a dean, who introduced me to a managing director at Morgan Stanley, who introduced me to the appropriate managing director at Morgan Stanley. That is 5 levels of connections that I had to go through to get introduced to this role. Number 2, pursue non-competitive roles. If I had $1 for every person who is applying for an investment banking analyst role at any bank, I'd be a very, very wealthy person, probably richer than Elon Musk. That's ridiculous. How are you going to beat that level of competition? You know there are always people in the candidate pool who are better than you. The role I went for was risk IT. I went for a role as a risk business analyst. If there are 1 million people applying for investment banking analyst roles every year, then there are about 5 applying for risk IT roles. Go for the less competitive roles. Number 3, skill up. Way too often, people who are applying for roles at top banks think, okay, well, here are the skills I have. I'd like to apply for this role. I'm going to just submit my resume. Yeah, but the role uses skill X, Y, and Z, and you don't have those skills yet. Now you might argue, well, then it's not for me, or then I'm not qualified. That's nonsense. Figure out what roles are being used. What skills are being used in that role, and skill up. Learn those roles. The year before I got my job at Morgan Stanley, I was studying till midnight or later every single day. Do I do that anymore? No. But that's the level of focus you have to get those jobs. Number 4, master the jargon. This is one that's missed very often, but speak to people in the industry, speak to people who are doing that job, and make sure you are so confident in the jargon that they used. So my role was in risk management. And when I went down to the interview, I was talking about Basel and CCAR and stress testing and back testing. I knew all the key words because I was adequately prepared, not just for the technical skill part, which of course I was, but also mastering the jargon. And that's why I've been such an advocate of learning financial jargon on LinkedIn. And finally, number 5, people focus so much on the interview, but they all focus on the technical part. Smash the personal part of the interview. Smile, show friendliness, and confidence. Because those are the 2 most important things when people are looking to hire. They want to know that you're going to be pleasant to be around. They want to know that you're going to be confident, which means when the manager wants to go on vacation, the manager will trust that you will handle all incoming emails and all incoming tickets or issues that arise. So it's confidence and it's friendliness. With these 5 things, hopefully you will actually smash your first job and, nail it. You'll get a job at a top-tier bank. Now, I have a question for you, and that question is, out of these 5 things, what do you think your competitive edge is? Are you an amazing networker? Do you have incredible skills? Do you pursue the non-competitive roles? Do you have a master of the jargon? Or are you extremely friendly and confident? Comment down below which one of the 5 you think is your strength. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you in the next video.